This whole time, I was holding my dress together with the chip clip. Because if I didn't have this, it would just slide off, so. Tricks. To start off, I'm using my favorite Nars Sheer Glow foundation. I'm just applying one thin layer and blending it out with the Beauty Blender. Next, for concealer, I'm using the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Concealer. It's a new concealer that Covergirl sent me. It's not super full coverage, but it is very hydrating, and I really like that it's super easy to blend. And this kind of replaced the YSL Touche Éclat for me because I ran out of that one. I'm covering my dark circles and highlighting my forehead and nose bridge. You can get away with putting on quite a lot with this concealer because, again, it's very easy to blend and it still looks pretty natural. Next, I'm setting my face with the Glossier Wowder. For contour, I'm using the Too Faced Cocoa Contour. It's a palette that's been out for a long time, but I just tried it for the first time recently. I just used the shade Medium Cocoa to contour my forehead, cheekbones, and jawline, and I'm gonna use the same color to contour my nose. For blush and highlight, I'm using the new Colourpop Clockwork palette. I've been so obsessed with this palette. The blush is amazing. For eyebrows, I'm using the Dior Brow Styler. I'm just gonna comb through my brows first to get the foundation and face powders off. Just doing tiny strokes, but slightly changing the shape. And I'm setting them with the Lancome Brow Styler. Before I move on to the eyes, I'm just going to curl my lashes. For my eyes, I'm using the Soft Glam palette. Super pretty shades. I'm going to start off with Rustic. I'm starting off in the crease and using this as eye contour. Next, I'm using the shade Dusty Rose. I only took very little and I'm using it as a wash of color to blend everything in. And I'm winging out the eye slightly with the eyeshadow. For my lids, I'm using the shade Bronze and then packing it on my lid. I'm focusing on the center so I can still keep some of that mauve. Next, I'm going back in with the Rustic to intensify the outer corners. Finally, I'm using the shade Cypress Umber as eyeliner. And I'm tight lining with the shade Noir. I'm kind of just pushing the color in. And I'm blending everything out one more time. I'm going back with my Cocoa Contour palette and using the shade Light Cocoa to clean up my brow bone. I'm also using the highlight shade that I used earlier for that inner corner highlight. And I'm blending it up into the inner corners. Mascara. I'm picking up Dusty Rose again because I felt like my eyes were a little bit too top heavy. For lips, I'm using the Covergirl Melting Pout Matte, and I'm mixing the shades Secret and All Nighter. I'm gonna start with Secret. The Covergirl Melting Pouts are not very opaque, but you can layer it to give you very rich color, so I like mixing these two. Finally, I'm setting my face with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Now that the makeup is done, I'm going to show you how I did my hair. Before I start, I'm spraying my hair with the Honest Beauty Beyond Hydrated Moisture Milk Leave-In Conditioner. This is what I use to detangle my hair. I also use it basically as a heat protectant, because you can't style your hair properly if you have a lot of tangles. While I'm waiting for my curling iron to heat up, I'm just sectioning off this part of my hair. I'm just gonna take off my hoops. I'm using this curling iron by Ohuhu. The name. It's just a regular multi-barreled curling iron that I got from Amazon, I think for under $30. Works well though, so the glove came with it. So I'm taking small pieces, pointing the wand down, and then wrapping it around. This is what the curl initially looks like, but I'll brush it out to make it look more natural. Taking another piece, I'm just altering the direction. But this is basically it, and you repeat this process over your whole head. So this is what it looks like once I'm done, which looks a bit crazy. So I'm using a wet brush to just brush through the curls. And just play with your hair a little bit and just separate the curls. Kind of scruff up your hair. Anyway, this is the finished look. I hope you like this tutorial. If you're new here, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.